second trophy, dude. I know these trophies aren't the big ones, but it's hardware. At the end of the day, it's hardware. And you still get excited about it. You're like, damn, they won something. And, if Sporting KC were to win the U.S. Open Cup, we would have celebrated the shit out of that. And while it's not the big one, but we're still in contention for the big one. We get to go compete for the big one. There's one more game left in our regular season.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
It's a championship podcast, baby. Welcome back to another episode of Currently on No Other Pod, KC Sports Network. Teal Boys in the house. Dan Kooser, Chris Wright, champions. Chris, what's up, man?
I did not expect to be serenaded, but I dig it, man. It needs to happen every single week.
The fanfare, when you win championships, you get fanfare. What a time. I had a blasty blast in San Antonio. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to exhaust my voice today because it was just a hell of a time. But, dude, how are you? How was the weekend? I haven't talked to you in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It went by really quickly. Whenever you have a championship game on a Friday, that's kind of all you look forward to during the week. And then once it's over, you get right back into the NFL. And since I'm a Cowboys fan, it's not very, very pleasant. But, I'm still pumped about the bringing home another trophy.
It's pretty cool. We're going to get into all the nonsense, all the narratives, the storylines of the game. It was a time I was on site, my man. I was there in the 90-degree San Antonio heat. I think people just walk around wet in San Antonio. Just wet.
I was like all over the...
Yeah. He said it, folks. He said moist. Be pissed at Chris, not me. He said moist. I've said it twice already. But your face just glistens. And I'm like, what is happening? I feel out of shape. I don't think I'm that out of shape, but I'm just leaking 24/7. And I heard, Kansas had great weather. And I hate to be that old guy that's sure is hot down here, huh? To all your Lyft drivers. And that's who I was. Every time
I go down to Texas and you talk about how hot it is. Yeah, how many times they've heard that before?
Bro, do you ever see those, I don't know what insurance commercial that is, but when it's they're there to keep you from turning into your parents, those commercials?
Yeah.
Those are the best, by the way, because we've all been got on those. We've progressed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. And they, just the whole talk about all right, what do you want to leave around the third quarter? Planning when you're going to leave an event before you even go into the event. Talking about the weather or your lawn. I've been all
what about saving your paper copies about I can't remember what it was. It's so true though that if you're above the age of 30, you have experienced at least one of those stereotypes.
Dude, I gotta a lot of people try to break the cycle of becoming their parents, whether it's the way they were raised or any kind of abuse or anything. Well, this ties into that. It's break the cycle and don't be as nerdy as your parents were.
Music. My parents would listen to the same music and I'm try something new. Here's some good music. I'm trying to show them some new stuff and they obviously don't care. And now I'm the same way. I'm listening to the same stuff I was listening to in high school and college. And I don't know.
That's wild. I'm always dabbling in new music. I'm all in on it.
I do a lot of I don't know, metal or German industrial and electro music, but those are the only two I kind of stay current with. Other than that,
I've been feeling myself with some country lately. I will start the morning with some country music because it just kind of wakes you up. It's nothing too hard. It's just good stuff, dude. Singing about a truck and some beer and some trucks and it's all the same. It's a good time.
This is probably TMI here, but I'm a really heavy sleeper. Dan, you know this very well.
Weird. We sleep together all the time.
When Dan was in Chicago, I stayed in his house before I went to Iceland.
And small apartment, not a
small
house.
Apartment. Sorry,
very small,
very small. So I was sleeping in the living room, and Dan and his wife did a workout, trying to be quiet. But I slept through the whole damn thing. woke up, no idea it even happened.
Dude, I know we were making noise. You were like, "Did you guys work out already?" And my dumbbells were like, click, 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 click.
But kind of going back, ties into the music thing here. But I used to have a surround sound system that would play Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff in the morning to wake me up. And it would go off. And I would still sometimes oversleep that. It was...
That's like waking up angry. A lot of people like to wake up peaceful, and you were like, "Give me something to write."
I had to go to work in the morning, man. I had to have that kind of mentality, I guess. I don't know.
Gosh, that is... Work sounds scary. Well, you'll see, man. I don't know why I didn't wear this last week, but I got that Desi the Destroyer headband on. It's not great. It's cheap. You know, it was a free giveaway, right? So it's not a very well constructed headband. It's probably not going to stop any sweat that gets in my eyes, but it's cool. You know,
Yeah,
no, pretty neat.
looks awesome.
Should have grabbed one for you, man. I know you didn't make the game. She had a little tummy bug that day.
I'm also not a bandana or headband guy. I don't know. I can't pull it off.
What do you mean? You don't have to be a headband guy. Anyone can wear a headband. It's not. No one's making fun of you.
You have the head for it. I don't know. I
Making fun of me?
no. Contrary people, you're getting compliments.
See, when I had long hair, the headband was where it was at. That was a hell of a time, man. We're talking. That was like, is this guy a professional wrestler? Rocking bandanas, dude. We have one miscellaneous piece of information this week, and Vanessa Dibernardo signed a new contract. New contract. We're Dibernardo boys. All right, we're fans. We enjoy her. A new 2-year contract, bro, through 2026 with an option for 2027. Just her midfield acumen and her vision and like passing abilities and able to pick up the best person to pass to is just it's unmatched, dude. I feel like we're a better team when she's on the field, and if she's on the bench, I'm kind of like, man.
I don't know why, but it makes me think of Big Lebowski's rug. She's like, it really ties the room together. I guess that's how I feel like she is with the midfield. She just ties everything together, right? Like she can play defensively. She could just play anywhere in the midfield. She can be a part of the attack. You could put her anywhere on that field, and she's going to make the team better.
I hope
I just thought of that on the spot, by the way.
She's never been called a rug.
Well, a Big Lebowski. I know it's the best one out.
I get it. It's also, these people are young, bro. These ladies are young. They're probably like, Big Lebowski.
True.
What the fuck is that?
That's so true. Yeah. But it's a win-win. Like, one thing I'm really happy for her and the team in the city is that she came in, right? She came in with Gautreau, one of her best friends.
Right.
Gautreau, obviously,
pretty cool announcement. Pretty cool announcement of them showing up. Remember that? The whole ringing the doorbell situation of the training center?
Yeah. And she's such a good fit for the city, for the team. Like, they have their coffee truck. Like, it seems like she's just really happy here in Kansas City, and she's playing exceptionally well. And the fact that we can extend her for another couple of years, it really takes some of the uncertainty kind of around what the next few years will look like. So what a massive retention.
She's tied for the club lead in assists. And that's what you want out of your midfield, bro. Assists. Midfielders are assisters primarily. Not only that, but she has 5 goals, which rank 8th in club history for single season.
Bangers, by the way.
Unbelievable. Like, she can hit off the free kick, man. She can hit outside the box.
The very first
trivia question.
Very first goal at CPKC Stadium. So
100%, man. She's played 1,457 minutes played over 21 games this year. She's 117 minutes shy of breaking the 15,000 minute barrier.
Wow.
I just love how, last year, man, she started 11 games, got a pretty bad concussion. We didn't hear from her the rest of the year, dude. We're like, oh my gosh, hope she's okay. Like, the fact that we're not hearing anything is very concerning, but it shows they're taking their time with her. They're not going to throw her back in there. Like,
made the right decision.
Tua Tagovailoa. We're not going to throw her in there to get rocked around some more. But dude, she's had a hell of a year. a hell of a 2024. There's a single game left in this season. High hopes for this team, man, especially coming off this past weekend. So look forward to seeing more of Dibernardo in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
That being said, my man, let's take a quick break, come back, and talk about this Summer Cup. Stay right there.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your number one source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com. When you deal with big wireless providers, there's always hidden fees, unexpected overages, and random charges that always leave you scratching your head. With Mint Mobile, they keep things simple, and you can get just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, and they mean it. So you can say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly overages and bills with Mint Mobile and their 3-month plan for just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you are worried about using your own phone and keeping all your contacts, with Mint Mobile you can transfer all of that and keep your phone number along with all of your contacts. So ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/KCSNKCC. That's mintmobile.com/KCSNKCC. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/KCSNKCC. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Bro, you ready for some continuity's sake? You don't know this because you probably haven't listened to no other pod yet. I'm a painter now. I'm painting Manning, and I was painting my porch yesterday. So I got paint all over my damn hands right now, bro.
Ooh.
Like in my hair and stuff. Put a second coat on this morning. You're not supposed to paint in high winds. It's quite windy.
Is it going to be like all smeared and like you're going to see like it won't be smooth, the finish?
She's smooth, but occasionally like it might blow something off the brush and gets on a part of the porch that isn't supposed to be painted. So now we got to go clean that, go get like a little Clorox wipe or something and try to clean that off of there. I've never painted anything in my life. Never. And I got to give a shout out to my wife, Marissa, for saying like, let's just do it. And we just did our best, dude. You do a little Googling, you see the best primer to get, the good paint, stuff like that. So you ever go into a store, you ever buy paint before?
Only once.
Okay.
Only one time.
Overwhelming. There is too much. And I'm not a typical man who's scared to ask for help. I can ask for help. But at a store, I don't want to be bothered. Don't bother me. I'm just going to look at your selection. Well, it's too much. Too much paint. I was like, what's good paint? What's the good stuff? I mean, I got to do 2 coats, I guess. I don't know, man, but I did it. I bought some stuff. It was probably more expensive than I needed to spend.
I mean, Google and YouTube, you can, I've done some car repairs, from those too. So
I've never done that. I can air up my tires. Is that a repair?
Why not? We'll give you that one.
I was Googling like the best paint brushes. I was like, look at all these brushes. I don't want the best of the best, but I certainly don't want the bad. Give me that middle ground, man. I've always been that guy. I'm like, I'm not going to overspend. But I don't want that cheap shit. So I didn't know much, but hey, I'm painting now. I'm a painting
It
fool.
sounds like it worked out.
It wasn't bad. I had to get on a little stool. I was painting these pillars up here. It was, yeah, I had my mouth open and it goes drip. And I was like, yeah, so I'm poisoned now. I
like Michelangelo,
That was my Sistine Chapel. Absolutely. Yeah. Buddy, I went down to Texas. The Daniel went down to Texas looking for a game to watch. And Wednesday. Got there Wednesday. Came back on Saturday. Just a short little trip. Did 3 escape rooms. Went to 6 Flags. Had a grand old time. But the game was the coup de grace. It was the main event of the trip. I had a blast, man. But I got to tell you, going into it, I get a message from you, and it's like news saying there's only like 3,100 tickets that have been sold to this thing. I don't know how many seats were in this place, but it was quite available. It was kind of like a sit where you want to sit situation.
Everybody's GA here.
it kind of felt that way. I will be honest, I did not sit in the seats I purchased. I went over and sat in the more expensive seats. It was nice. It was padded. It was cushioned. I felt very, very VIP. So sorry, folks. Now you know Daniel's a criminal. But I had a great time. This sitting behind this Gotham guy, right? He turns around. He's like, we got like 7 people out to international duty. And I was like, yeah, how's your optimism today? I said that to him. I said, pretty low probably, yeah? He just kind of laughed. I was ribbing him because I was like, we should really smash these fools. We talked about it last week. We should take advantage.
I mean, it was bad. Like, I knew it was bad looking at like all the international duty, but it was really bad. Like, I saw somebody tweeted this out. At one point, Gotham they were fielding 3 retired players and a 14-year-old.
Wow. So
when you have Dibernardo, Chewingo, Lowe, and basically your number 1 squad, unless somebody was injured or Mace was out, you should win. You should win that.
We had 1 starter gone, and that was Haley Mace. And even still, she's not always a starter. They do kind of rotate that back line a little bit. But Gotham had like 5 starters gone on international duty? I mean, at least 5 to the U.S., I think it was.
Yeah. 1 to England. I mean, it was a couple injuries. Like, it was basically all their backups were starting.
It's, cool for them, I guess. They never really got much going. What I do hate is this will always have a little bit of an asterisk to it, but being an obnoxious sports fan that I am, I'm going to celebrate it like it's the number 1 thing in my life. And I don't care that you had 7 people gone to international duty that might have helped your team beat us. I don't care. You guys have gotten the best of us for a while. It's been tough to you.
Well, the last game, it was a draw 1-1, but when you watched the game, you came away feeling like Kansas City was a better team. So it wasn't like we couldn't win. It wasn't like we were just saved by this international duty. I think we've tied the last 3 times we've played them at full strength, both teams. So, it's not out of the realm we wouldn't have won.
I like that we got thrown a layup, dude. Like, it feels, whatever, man. We've been busting our ass this year. We've been scoring goals. We've been running all over the field. We deserve a little slow championship win here. Give us a break so we don't got to go 10 out of 10 the whole game. Let's pass the ball around, work on possession.
Well, that's the risk you take when you sign all these international players, right? Like,
it is
that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have all of them and then expect when there's international duty that they're going to be available. You take that gamble.
And those were friendlies, right? So
yeah,
if a player has a coach can say no, but I don't think any coach says, no, you can't have a player, because that's money out of that player's pocket.
Of course.
And you're going to ruin morale. So they're kind of like,
bad business.
Yeah.
It's bad business.
You're like, that sucks, but do what you want to do. The player also has an opportunity to say no. Now, Haley Mace would have never said no to international duty. She doesn't get called in to the national team. It doesn't happen. So she's seeing, okay, good luck, ladies, at the Summer Cup final. I got to go, try to get in this lineup. Like, this is an opportunity for me. It's a chance. I got to go, man. They might strap the rocket to me and put me on the field, They didn't. Did Haley play at all in this last game?
Not that I saw. I don't think so.
She didn't play in the first one. I saw that. She didn't get in there. But from the start, man, from the get-go, we were making our rounds across this stadium. Again, not very well attended, but people thanked us for coming out. We got interviewed by Sports Illustrated guy. He just, at halftime, I'm about to go to the bathroom, and this guy walks down the stairs, and he just does this. He stops me. I was like, bitch, don't tell me to stop. I gotta go pee. And I think he was English and had a bit of a British accent, and he's asking me and Marissa questions. And I love that he included Marissa. I love that he talked to her as well and didn't just default to the man. He asked her questions and gave her the microphone. He'd come back to me. He'd go back to her. That was really cool. And it was just things about did you travel? Where are you from? What's this cup mean? And it seems a little trappy at sorts, to if he's trying to get us to say anything disparaging about this competition.
Kind of a gotcha, maybe a gotcha question here and there.
And about the attendance, it was pretty bad. So that felt like a gotcha question about the attendance. And Marissa was like, well, what do you expect? I mean, these are teams from Kansas City and teams from San Antonio, and from Gotham, from New York. Not everyone has like the finances to make this trip to go down to San Antonio.
San Antonio's not a cheap flight. Like,
not necessarily, no.
Yeah, it's not. Houston, Dallas isn't bad, but San Antonio, that's cheap.
We had to connect in Dallas on the way there, but then on the way home, we had to connect in Phoenix. 2 long flights on the way home, 2 short flights there. Horrible time coming home. Horrible time. My legs ballooned. Didn't like it. I don't like how I get swollen like that. But anyways, I was telling this guy, I was like, and I think they kind of thought, okay, a Liga MX team will probably make the final. The Liga MX team didn't even get out of their group. They didn't even make the knockout stage. It was no longer an NWSL / Liga MX competition. So that's tough because there's a huge... San Antonio is basically part of Mexico, bro. Like the food and everything, it is Mexican paradise. It's wild to me. Had some great vegan tacos, by the way. We can talk about that off the air. Hell of a time eating these tacos. Ate way too many. So anyways, got interviewed by Sports Illustrated. Met Ellie Wheeler's father, who's a fan of the pod, bro. He said he enjoyed the interview with Ellie. I didn't know who this man was. I am, when you're big like us, bro, you're used to people coming up to you and talking to you and asking, saying like, hey, are you so-and-so? And had my pink headband on, like I always do, my KC headband. And he goes, hey, are you the webcast guy? Something like that. Like, do you do a webcast? And I thought about it. I was like, I guess we do. This does go on YouTube if you guys are trying to see our smiling faces and my cold sore that I can't get rid of. And I go, yeah, well, what's your name? And he said his name. Oh, I want to say Scott. You're going to have to fact check me on Ellie Wheeler's father's name. I want to say Scott. And he's like, I'm Ellie Wheeler's dad. I was like, oh, shit. And I think her mom was there too. I don't know. A lady was there and she's like, got the pink headband on. And she goes, do you have the upside down shin guard as well? And I was like, these people listen. These people listen to the content, bro. It felt pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
We don't get a whole lot of that, contrary to popular belief. At least me, you on the other hand. But I hear
people that will stop me from time to time and say like, hey, Koos, enjoy the pod,
But you get the sporting side too. So
not a player's parents.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. So I think her dad is my dad now. I'm feeling that. It feels good.
I caught a game, gained a parent, right? Gained a trophy, gained a parent.
Feels good.
Gained a dad down
trophy,
there.
Parents. I feel like I gained another father too. Got a good old Chris Long high five at the end of the game. This guy is just the best dude, man. He like introduced himself, and it's like, we know who the fuck you are, Christopher. Like we know you, but he's like shaking hands down there. He shakes Marissa's hand. I'm Chris Long. I'm so and so, part owner of the Current or whatever. I'm like, we fucking know, Chris. And we like high fived and like did this handshake thing in the air, and I was like, that's not how you high five, Chris. But that's what a dad would do. So he's my dad now. I have 2 dads. But it didn't hurt as bad as it did when he gave me that beefy palm at the DC game, because that was a chilly game and
that was intense. That was an intense palm right there.
It was.
There was a lot of excitement going into that one.
And this was San Antonio, so we were both totally wet. It was kind of a wet high five.
It was like a splash. Just no.
It wasn't bad. Dude, I'm going to break down this game all the way through, by the way. But at the end, man, I've never been at a cup final. I know you've been. Did you go to the 2017 U.S. Open Cup final?
No.
You weren't at that.
I was not that one.
But you were at the 2013 MLS Cup final.
I was.
And we were, I take it back, we did go to the NWSL final in D.C. I'd never been to a cup final where we were victorious. So this was cool, man. They set up the stage right at the end of the game. The confetti, the smoke machines, fireworks were going off like crazy. Chawinga started a conga line with the trophy. Labonta gave a little speech at the end where the gal was like, you know what? what did it take to win this game and cap off this spectacular season that you're in? And Labonta goes, 2 words, Tim Wachawinga. I thought that was kind of cool, but she was like, no, seriously, this is a team where we're all, we all contribute. And there were even the injured players, dude, that have been out for the season were there in sweats, in teal and gray sweats or whatever it was. Gabby Robinson, Pfeiffer was there. Weber was there. Everybody that you just don't see that's on this team was there. And I thought that was kind of cool. They flew everyone down. Also at our hotel, a guy comes over to us because we're in our KC Current jerseys about to leave for the game. And this guy was the flight attendant on KC Current's flight. And he just, he's like, yeah, we had pretty, it was a huge plane, small flight. So they could just kind of spread out and have their own rows and stuff. And he's like, it was pretty cool, man. They seem like great people. And I was like, look at this guy just seeing us in our jerseys. We're a walking billboard. People were stopping us, dude. You from KC? I'm like, yeah, we'll give it away.
It was like during the championship game in DC. It was a lot of the same thing, right? Like, it's a lot of fun to see a lot of current fans or women's soccer fans kind of get together at any point.
A guy from Houston was in town. We just saw him downtown by the Riverwalk, and he comes up and talks to us. He's like, "Oh, you guys KC Current fans?" And he watches the product, bro. He watches the league. He's a Houston Dash fan. He's like, yeah, we're bad. And I was like,
didn't know they had many, but there's a lot.
I was like, you guys win some games that you should not win sometimes. You're very sneaky. But he starts telling this lady he's with, I think they were in town for like their high school reunion. He starts telling this lady, like, yeah, they got their own stadium. So only women's purpose built stadium. He goes, what, you guys are 6th in the league? And I said, bite your tongue, sir. You're 4th. How dare you, sir?
How dare you?
But he knew NWSL, and I just thought that was really cool. And he's like, but he didn't know that there was a game, like a Summer Cup final. And he's like, oh, that's a fun stadium for you guys. Enjoy that. That'll be a good time. So really great people to meet down there, man. It was a good time. Let's look at this lineup. Any surprises here? We knew Haley Mace wasn't there. Schultz and keeper again.
No,
out there. Cooper, Chwinga, everything. I mean, everything looks good.
It's kind of our first choice lineup with what was available, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going for it. I mean, there's no one on the bench that I'm like, why aren't they playing? You know what I mean?
Right.
It just felt right. Michelle Cooper was going to go be fast and physical, and she was, dude. They called everything on Michelle, man. I think she got a yellow at one time.
Yeah.
If she wasn't careful, she was going to get another yellow. Like, she couldn't even go shoulder-to-shoulder contact without getting some kind of call. It was bullshit.
Well, she heard that, they asked Desi, who on the team can kind of take over the name of the destroyer. She referenced Michelle Cooper, which makes all sense in the world.
She did.
But, and then you could tell it's like, I think that was a yellow. She came in with the shoulder, didn't really play the ball, kind of came from the side back-ish area. Sure. A little careless, but I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie, because she can get caught up in some of those emotional situations. And
I think it was a yellow, but I don't think that a lot of her other fouls that were being called were fouls. I was like, this ref has it out for them, dude. And there was also another time when, like, the ref probably should have played advantage, but she stopped play. I was like, what are you doing? Like, they have the ball. They're still going. Why are you stopping play? I don't know. Refereeing was suspect, in my opinion.
It felt like they knew one of the teams were at a big disadvantage, and they just tried to give nothing like game-changing, but just a little extra nudge to kind of, give the other team a fighting chance.
Absolutely. This game was not, I don't want to say back and forth. We really controlled it, but it felt, I mean, we were controlling, man. Their right back, Bruninha, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
Was all over Chwinga. Like, Chwinga's on that left wing. And isn't that right? Like, did they have Dibernardo as, like, the number 9?
Yeah. And Bruninha's, she's with the Brazilian national team. Like, she's probably one of their best players who actually played.
Yes. Like, she was
probably one of the better
all over.
played. Yeah.
She was all over Chewinga. I mean, trying to arm hook her, trying to really get physical, not let her get around her. So what takes about 24 minutes when Chewinga's like, all right, I'm going to go play the middle of the field. Like this gal is getting kind of physical with me, kind of, bumping me off my run and stuff like that. So she goes to the middle of the field and gets a little chip on Cassie Miller. 24th minute, scoring right over her, dude. This was a lot of fun.
The pass, by the way.
God dang it. Who passed that?
I think it was Lowe. who got that pass.
You are absolutely right. Yep. Oh, Labonta had both assists.
Yeah.
2 assists for Labonta, 2 goals for Chewinga. It was gorgeous, dude. I feel bad for Cassie Miller kind of making her look a fool on these goals. Defense didn't really help her out on these. But have you seen a more beautiful, confident, chip over the keeper? It's ballsy, dude.
You never know what you're going to get with her on those. Is she going to go around? Is she just going to try and put it, hard and low? You don't, is that the first time we've seen her chip like that?
Surely not. But she did a little pump fake first, too. It was, Cassie didn't really fall for the pump fake, but it was enough to really throw her off her game, and Chewinga able to slide in like that.
There's 5 different options for Chewinga to do in that scenario, and if you're a keeper, the odds of guessing right are pretty slim. So
exactly. Cool for Miller to be a part of this, though. I mean, she was playing far up, dude, out of her box a lot of the game. I think you kind of have to, because those through balls are going to come, and if the keeper's there to help with that, it's going to be good. But we were just coming at her, dude. We just kept coming. Dibernardo was kind of a force to be reckoned with. We just played good possession. We were taking good touches, getting around people, weren't playing any silly passes at all. And then in the 37th minute, another little pass by Labonta and another chip by Chewinga. It was just the same goal in a different part of the box. I was ecstatic.
Thankfully, there was no VAR, because I believe that was offsides. I'm pretty sure that was... It was close, by the way, so I don't want to say it was, it wasn't egregious. It was close, but I do think it was off. But it was tight.
Well, let's see here. It's very close.
It's very close.
He is close.
No VAR, and once they didn't call it offsides, it was. I felt really comfortable with where we were at that point.
Yeah, you kind of know, when the defender
angle, by the way.
Yeah, when the defender that's on her raises her hand for offsides, you kind of think it's probably offsides. They should know. They're right there. They see if she goes before the pass, I didn't know there was no VAR.
Differently, because obviously in the league itself, they give that player or they give that situation a little extra leeway, right? Because they know they can go review it, so they may let a play go and just kind of see what happens. And in this case, I don't know if, they were trying to be a little tighter about it, or just, kind of keep that same attitude and mentality. But that was a good finish, man. That was a tough angle.
Oh, very much so. Who's 16? Dibernardo, 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. She had she got a ball in the back of the net. Offsides, though. So I was excited. I was like, oh, is that 3? And then I sat right back down. I was like, that's too bad. So a little back and forth here, man. Gotham had the lion's share of possession in the second half. It was more or less kind of a, I don't want to say boring second half.
It was a benign possession. I think we do, or recently, with the addition of Cook and Charles and Schultz, I think we've done a better job of allowing them that possession, but not very threatening.
Right.
The possession wasn't very threatening. They just, a lot of passes back and forth, towards the top of the final third, or back half of the final third. It seemed like we were allowing them to maintain possession, move the ball, but we didn't give them anything to really be dangerous. And I think that's something they've been really good at, the second half of the season.
We were taking shots too, man. Dibernardo hit one over the crossbar at one time. Michelle Cooper lost one over the crossbar at one time. Ellie Wheeler was just torching fools on that wing. Just torching them.
When she moved up, when ball came in and Ellie went kind of went up top, she really put that pace on him. And she didn't really have to when she was playing on the back, in the first half, right? She didn't really have to use a ton of energy.
Right. Dude, all they have to do, Ellie can go get a ball too. She is fast, just like Chawinga. You can send her through balls, and she's going to torch that defender and go get it. She had one. She got on the ball, had the defender beat, had no angle here. Goalkeeper had it, and Ellie shot it the only place she could shoot it. The margin for error was very slim, and the keeper blocked it. But it was still a great effort. I was like, God dang, that's what you got to do in that position. Second trophy, dude. I know these trophies aren't the big ones, but it's hardware. At the end of the day, it's hardware. And you still get excited about it. You're like, damn, they won something. And, if Sporting KC were to win the U.S. Open Cup, we would have celebrated the shit out of that. And while it's not the big one, but we're still in contention for the big one. We get to go compete for the big one. There's one more game left in our regular season. But I got to tell you, our holiday distillery toast of the match, I mean, that goes to Chawinga.
I don't see how you don't.
Holiday distillery toast of the match, Chawinga.
She's got a lot of awards from us, hasn't she? Good Lord.
She's she's a workhorse, dude. We're very, God, what wouldn't you hate to see her playing for another team in the league in years to come? Like, that would suck.
We've often been like, God, if we could, because for the past few years, we've had a decent midfield. Defense is, kind of gotten better, but we were always like, because we had Hamilton, right? We had Cooper as a rookie, played up top. We just,
Kaiser,
we just didn't
Kaiser was there, by the way.
Yeah, it was. She was out, yeah. But we just never really had a forward that's an upper tier forward in the league, right? We were always like, if we could ever get a Sophia Smith or a Mallory Swanson or something like that, buddy, we got something better right now. And,
I know.
And the fact that it just, sometimes you just got to feel grateful that, she's on our team and the team is what they are. Because a couple of years ago, man, and it was tough.
You got to drink this in, because it's not going to happen forever. It's the Mahomes effect. You got to enjoy it now, because nothing lasts forever.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Dude, she could taper off some year and we don't re-sign her or something. Or, look at North Carolina. Don't you think they were pretty crushed to not keep Debinha?
Yeah.
That probably would have sucked as a North Carolina fan. I probably would have really liked watching her week after week. And now they don't have that anymore. So I guess it's better to love than loss than not to have loved at all.
I mean, we may not have international players, but on paper, man, I'd put our team up against anybody in the world, in my opinion. Any team in the world. So
this is huge momentum going into our final match of the regular season, going into our first home playoff match at our new stadium. This matters. This matters. We didn't play no B squad. We played the people who are going to be out there working hard to win a third trophy. That's like the treble, right? I mean, it's not a treble, but you win all trophies, all three trophies that you're like eligible for. That would be epic.
And that's as close as it gets, man. Might not be the best equivalent, but it's the only one that we can make, right? I mean,
the shield obviously matters too, so that's part of it. But to win that other little mid-season cup we had, that was just like a 2-match tournament with international teams. But now to win this, not to mention, this was a tournament that like wrapped up in July, and it's like, cool, win the final. And they're like, you're going to love this, October 25th. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? We're in great form here. We'd love to have this final next week. What is going on? So it's good for them to stay hungry and treat this final seriously. They took advantage of their opportunity.
Absolutely.
So that leads us to our game this weekend. I believe it is a Sunday game, November 3rd, 2:00, ESPN, bro. Big time ESPN. I watch ESPN when I work out in the morning. I've been seeing them advertising this game, NWSL Sunday. Kind of what ESPN does on Sunday, since the other stations have NFL on and everything like that. This is at Bridgeview, Illinois. You know, November in Illinois is always pretty, you know, I don't know what the weather's looking like, but it could be really cold or it can be really gorgeous, just like here. What do we expect from a game like this, man?
I mean, to me,
We're going for it.
We're going for it. I think they're going to go for it too. So, you know, they are currently 6th in the standings, right?
They can't get any higher than 6.
They can't get any higher than 6, but they could technically lose. You know, well, no, they can't.
Well, they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs, so they don't have anything to really fight for.
But they could drop to 8.
But they could drop to 8. So I don't think they want to play Orlando. You know,
no, that's not ideal.
You know, I'm sure they want to win to give themselves the best chance to, you know, continue to move on. But one of their players, one of their players is out. She got a red. My goodness. So I'm looking up her name. Can't remember it. But she got a red card last game. So she will be out. It is Ludmila. So, I mean, she has 3 goals in 7 games for Chicago. She came in here recently. And she's been a force, man. You know, 3 goals in 7 games. So she's been a big part of their offense, you know, over the last, month or two. But she got a red, and she's going to miss the game. So
good.
Not mad at it.
You hear that?
not mad at it.
You know, they played Washington Spirit. Well, they had a bye this past week. You know, no one played this past week, by the way. Us and Gotham are the only 2 NWSL teams that played. But, dude, when they played Washington Spirit, they had 2 shots. Chicago had 2 shots on goal to Washington's 12.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy. Washington beat them in possession, had more passes, better passing accuracy, more corners, more crosses, all the way around, man. Chicago's a pretty good team defensively. You know, they do okay, I guess. They have a -5 goal differential. So it's not in the upper echelon where we're at, you know, with our positive 24. Wow. We should be able to go down there and take advantage. I feel weird that it's it's not a home game, and we haven't, you know, we don't necessarily do well away from home. Not great. We don't crush away from home like we do at home, you know. So I'm a tad skeptical about this. I can't be 100% confident.
I mean, so let's take a look at their last 5 games. They are 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5. Their 2 wins were against San Diego and Houston, right? Lower level or lower table teams. They lost 3-1 to North Carolina, 2-0 to Gotham, and then 2-0 to Washington. So it seems like when they play, you know, quality teams or you know, better than average, they tend to struggle a little more. And you're right, though, just taking a look at some of their team stats here. You know, they're 7th in goals conceded, 8th in goals per match, 6th in clean sheets, 13th in the league in terms of shots on target per match. They just don't have the offensive firepower that they used to, especially with Ludmila out. Like, they're going to have to rely on some Swanson, you know, 1-on-5 crazy type of play. Mm-hmm. Nayer's a great keeper, but
their home record is worse than their away record, by the way. So that you don't usually see that like that. They've won 4 at home and won 6 on the road. So let's take advantage of that poor home form and get it done.
I mean, technically, we're still in a fight for second place. It's,
true.
Washington plays North Carolina, right? And North Carolina, they're in 5th place. They can't go up or down. Like, they're just, they really don't have a reason to play.
I don't know if they will play all their best.
Right.
Why would you? Why wouldn't you just rest another week, right? Get people healthy.
Or at least, play a half, right? something
Gotham
like that.
plays-
Management.
Gotham plays Utah, which I'm like, man, like Utah, they can be sneaky at times, but like they haven't been great. You know what I mean?
Well, they're out of the playoffs regardless. They're not going to make it. What I
They are
will
at home
say-
though.
They are at home, and let's be honest. Like, they've had a disappointing year. 10th isn't bad for an expansion team, so I don't want to say it was disappointing, but they want to finish strong.
Sure,
Right? They want to finish strong at home for the fans, and
fans.
yeah, and really give the team and the fans something to look forward to in the offseason and next year. So I think they'll come out playing hard. But man, it just kind of sucks that both opponents of the teams that we need to lose don't have a whole lot to really play for.
I know. But if they do, if they drop points and we win, like say one of those teams just gets a draw and we win, we will go up.
Yep.
That's interesting. So we can get a 2 or 3 seed in the postseason here. But we know we are locked into a home playoff game, so there is that.
Well, even if we draw and the rest of the teams lose, Washington and these are unlikely but hypothetical here, we would be tied on points and we would go ahead on goal difference. So that just kind of shows you how close, 2 through 4 is.
Well, we're just going to go down there and try to win, obviously. They're going to try to get it done. Chawinga's going to try to go hard again, continue extending her golden boot and single season goal scoring record. Like, why not? You have the record. Let's make that record a little less attainable for anyone else in the future.
Especially
Absolutely.
We're going to have more teams and most likely more games down the road per season. So, you want to make this thing as hard to reach as possible.
That'd be pretty dope if she does it in like a league with 14 teams and then the league expands and that record just never gets touched. Like we have so many games and then the games expand and that record never gets touched. That would be outstanding.
Yeah, and I was going to look it up. I never made it around to it, but Sam Kerr's record, I wonder how many, because they played a fewer amount of games, right? And I'm kind of curious, like per game, how many goals did Kerr average in Chawinga? I'll take a look at that, but
sounds like a little research there.
Yeah, I'm just excited. And you mentioned this the other day, injury-free, man. Let's just be injury-free. We can't afford anything. Hopefully, I don't know what it looked like for Bia. I don't know if, it was supposed to be a 2 to 4 week thing or 3 to 4 week thing. This is kind of around that time. So I don't know if she would, I don't want to count her in because we've been doing that and she just hasn't been available. But,
we've been doing okay without her out there, but she definitely enhances this team's pizzazz out there when she's doing things. Dude, so you watched, I did not get a chance to watch this, but you went on Twitter, on X, and watched that episode of The Off Season.
Yeah.
Which Lola Bonta's a part of. And you were telling me some very interesting things about it regarding her contract situation. Do we know, like in the past year or so before she re-signed?
So it was very telling. I'm surprised she, was very transparent as she was.
Yeah.
First of all, I've only watched the first season. I know that, or the first episode. I know the second one just came out here recently.
Did it just come out?
Yeah, the second episode just came out.
I gotta catch up, dog.
Yeah, they're only like 30 minutes, but
yeah.
I was really digging it, man. You get to see them in a completely different light. Like they drop F-bombs. It's just, I don't know. It's just, we see them. We're not used to seeing them like that, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, man, Lo talked. She didn't have an agent. She did not have an agent. She did all.
Yeah, she said she just raw dogs it.
Yeah, and
that's not a term you use with contract negotiation.
Well, and I see her logic, and it goes both ways. But she wants to see how much the team really values you, right? If your agent can have really difficult, challenging negotiations with the team, and the team will devalue you or the player to get you at a better rate, and the agent is, advocating on your behalf. So Lowe didn't want to have an agent so she could see how the team really felt about her. And she mentioned that for a while she got paid I think she made I don't know if it was a joke or not, but like, in the 4 figures is what she said. So not 6 figures, not 5 figures. She said 4. But, I know there's a clip going around of her saying that, she wasn't even in the top 11 paid players on our team, but she was making the top 11 of the league. And you could tell she was really frustrated with it. I don't know if it came up a lot in the show. So I don't know if she continued to bring it up or if it was just one of the things that the show focused on. I don't know. But, she mentioned that she tried to negotiate her contract after the championship season. And the current did not want to negotiate her contract. They did not want to
at the end of 2022, right?
Yeah.
That one we went? Okay.
Yep. So, and then it ended with like her saying that she's considering leaving Kansas City.
Holy shit.
But when that was filmed, I think it was around the time that she re-signed with the current and got a contract extension.
Yeah, wasn't this all filmed like last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I saw 2 different things like between 23 and 24.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of weird. Well, it was also Maria Sanchez is on the show, and she just signed like the largest contract in women's soccer, NWSL women's soccer. And she's like searching for houses on the show. She's like, look at this house I'm considering, and she plays for San Diego now. So
yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, but I was really shocked how transparent Lowe was with her contract. And I do think she's the face of the team. She's on billboards. She's doing commercials. I don't understand why you don't negotiate with her after going to a championship and leading the team in goals. That's not a good look for Kansas City.
That's interesting. But wasn't that, obviously we had a different coach then. We had a different general manager then.
Yep.
So it was a different team. We had some pretty shambles being talked about. We were not having a good time with little news that kept coming out. So it's been nice to not have those little things come out anymore.
It's very true. A lot of that was under a different regime.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's a lot better than what it was. But I was just shocked how transparent she was. And it goes to show you how like Lowe is making peanuts. Probably as low as your contract could be, because she's playing off of probably the Utah Royals contract, right? Or when all that came over.
Yeah.
She was making peanuts, and she was in the house with Maria Sanchez, who set the record. And Lowe probably had just as many, if not more, goals. That's got to be frustrating. That's got to piss you off.
That would be. It's no different than like being at work and seeing all the work you do, and then knowing that guy over there makes quite a bit more money than you, and he doesn't do shit. Yeah.
I'm glad it's resolved. I'll tell you what, though. If she had not signed an extension and this was just like the most recent information we had, like, I don't know, that'd be a disaster for PR for the team. But
that would be a PR disaster, 100%. I'm going to watch that. I promise. I'll do it. I'm going to set myself a reminder. And then I'm going to come back next week and tell you I forgot to watch it. So
I'll text you. I'll have to remind you on that one.
Appreciate that. I found out that in a new iOS update, you can schedule texts. I did not know this was a thing. So I've been doing that. Like I texted Marissa last night, and it was just scheduled for 9 p.m. And I said, did I start the dishwasher? Just as a reminder to me, like she'd look at it and be like, did you start the dishwasher? Pretty cool.
It's pretty smart.
Maybe I'll schedule a text to her and be like, did I watch the off season?
It looks like there could be some drama, not amongst the players themselves, but just a lot of insight that you wouldn't get otherwise. So I think you'd get a kick out of it.
Nice. All right, man. I think that's it. I think we covered it. What a championship podcast this has been. I wish I wish I had sparklers. If I wish I had sparklers in my house right now, I would have started the show with sparklers, little poppers that pop the confetti out there. You know what I mean? Woo, the little kazoo thing. We could have had them all, but I blew it. I didn't go to Party America, and I blew it.
Yeah. You know, there could have been a shot of a guy going crazy with sparklers and kazoos, and that's
Or a shot of a guy lighting his room on fire and just freaking out. Wouldn't that be something?
that might be our best, most viewed YouTube.
100%. I should do it. Do it for the tube. Burn your house down.
Exactly. There you go.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Casey Current, man. Summer Cup champions. Feels good. Still got the big one to go. Chicago Red Stars this Sunday, 2:00, ESPN.
Chicago Stars. You see that rebrand?
Oh, yes. They're no longer red. They're just regular. Just regular stars. I like the Red Stars, dude. It's about the Chicago flag. It has red stars on the flag. Now they're just regular stars. It's almost like they're saying, we're not really about Chicago anymore. We're not Red Stars. We're regular. Yeah.
It's like the Dallas Stars.
The Dallas Stars.
Hockey team. Yeah.
But I get that because a star is like, it's the Lone Star State.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cowboy, a star. I don't know why I'm so mad about it, but it's
you got very animated there.
I'm gonna keep saying Red Stars unless it's offensive to someone, then I'm gonna stop because I don't know if the color red is no longer acceptable, then I won't do it.
I don't know until I say something I shouldn't, and then I'm like, oh,
that's how it works. If I'm checked, I don't argue. I'm like, okay, cool, you're offended. I am sorry. I don't mean to do that. Folks, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Leave us a 5 red star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to us. Send us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com. Hit us up on socials, @nootherpod, @Dan Kooser, @Chris Wright 21. You can text us. You can send us a text to the KCSN hotline, powered by Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds is a fan. 913-407-6524. Be a part of the show. You got questions? We got answers. You got comments? We got comments. Let's have a conversation. That's it, folks. We love you so much. For Chris, I'm Daniel. Champions, signing off.